assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. Yeah. Yeah.
Welcome back to the Unexpected Podcast. It's your girl KP, the voice of perspective.
And I'm Reese Boogie, Mr. Handsome. I'm not going to go into everything this time because we got special guests in the building. We got Mr. Sheldon. We got Mr. Bailey, the Whatever It Takes Podcast. We're going to get into a little bit about what they do, where they from, you know, all the work they do in the community with the kids, with everything else. So let's get started.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about yourselves, guys. What inspired you guys to come together and start a podcast?
Well, a little bit about me. My name is Sheldon Thurgood. First and foremost, I want to thank you guys for having us.
Oh, yes, sir.
On the Unexpected Podcast.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It's going down.
You know, you my brother. You my brother, so I had to get you on.
Appreciate it. Well, me, a little started me playing ball. I always introduce people with my livelihood of sports.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and I think that's what serves my purpose of doing what I'm doing today. Basketball and sports. My dad and the family always making me, go and compete, giving it all I got on the field. And all that now is what I'm doing.
Right.
And basically what I was giving back on the field and doing and be playing as a team player, becoming competitive.
I know you was in basketball. I know you was very much a good team player in basketball,
right.
So I get it.
Right.
I get the connection.
And so that's kind of led me through my journey. It's a story. I got a whole story. So I wrote my book. So make sure y'all get the book. I'm going ahead and introduce that now. Whatever it takes on Amazon, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Team players. So that's what kind of bring me and my mentee Bailey, man. It's an awesome guy here, man. He's just an incredible young man. I'm so proud of him. I could just spend the whole thing and go on him if I want to just give him his kudos. Going to one of the top schools in high school next year. Kudos to him.
Right.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so my turn. Okay, so my name Bailey Moore. I'm an author, motivational speaker, soon to be artist. So basically what I do, I'm hoping to use my my books, my speeches, my art, just to like motivate the youth today, keep them on the right path. That's my goal. Just trying to raise the right generation.
Right. But how y'all come together as far as mentee and how y'all met and the podcast came about?
Well, speaking, I've been knowing Bailey, man. We got
way
pictures.
Before we started,
crazy.
Yeah, way before we started the
podcast. Speaking at events, and I met up with him, and then we just kind of clicked on there,
right?
Because I'm always in for the kids. I love the youth and trying to impact those guys.
Yeah,
I meet so many kids all the time, and a lot of those guys I have outreach. So I forgot to speak about Thurgood Deeds is a nonprofit organization that I run, and a lot of these great kids will come out and do outreach with me.
Right.
So we'll have my group plus other kids in the inner city, in the community, at risk. I mean, we have them all. They come out and they serve the community, the homeless.
What age groups do you?
Man, if they can walk and know how to use their hands to give,
right.
Man, I can go all the way back to the youngest we had was Jordan. She started at like 5.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then her little friends from there, and they all just came and volunteered. So
I think that's awesome just because I know that kids are at their most, what is the word? They're at their most honest and pure and, when they do something is from the heart, like it's because they want to, as opposed to, I guess I'll just go to make it good.
They're so vulnerable and eager to just hear what you have to say to them.
Yeah.
Just tell them what to do and they're go and do it.
Yeah.
I mean, those 2 girls was like, with Jordan, she was one of my leaders on the team. So she told me what to do. Basically.
What year did you start a nonprofit and all that type of stuff though?
I started on Thurgood Deeds in 2013.
Okay.
And actually that came about, I get to talking sometime about my story. It's kind of it's very exciting. It's a surreal story of how I got there, and the things that's been happening in the community. So, but leaving juvenile, I was working juvenile detention, and
I know,
and I learned a lot from those kids. Reese write a book about that, about the kids that we dealt with inside the units and dealing with their, the fights, just needing that leadership, just needing somebody. While everybody in there wilding out, you got that one DO that can just say, "Hey, man, look, man, this is what I think you need to do."
Be real,
and that's the one the kids in that type of program, they be really just need mentors to help them out along the way. Because when you cling to them and you show them that you really care about them, they listen to you. They don't feel like you just there for a check. So they always trying to, do something to make you proud every time you walk in and show you, hey man, I was good today. You know what I'm saying? Just because they feel like you care about them. And I know you've been doing that a lot in the community too, even with the homeless and all that type of stuff. Like you make them people feel good when you go out there and just talk to them. And, I see your videos where you just out there hanging out with them, talking to them, feeding, whatever the case may be. So you do a great job in that field anyway. So
appreciate it, man. And that's why I got my shirt on. I represent. I don't want to take too much Bailey side, but I get to when I get to talking about this type of stuff and loving on my people, the kids and homeless people, as Reese said, it just means a lot to my heart. I always say purpose, and I represent that. If you get a chance, read Romans 8:28, and it's all about God's purpose.
Right.
So, but yeah, man, just really impacting the homeless and the youth, and my outreach does that a lot. And I'm showing kids we're not just giving just to give,
right?
But I want them to learn, why are you giving?
Right.
Who are the people you're giving to?
Right.
And they sit there and they already know. I have kids that even, saved up to, give back to the home.
Right.
Yeah.
They felt like, or give their socks or give things.
And just seeing it and doing it because they see you do it.
See me doing it, knowing it's a need.
A need, yeah. Yeah. So what made you want to start this path in motivational speaking, writing books, influence your generation and younger?
Okay, so I also forgot to mention I started my business, Be More You Publishing, in 2017, and I can say,
how old were you then?
I was 9.
Oh, okay,
9
so
years
that's
old.
dope.
And I can say I started it just because of the people that helped me get to that point. My grandfather, all my uncles and mentees and stuff like that, because they kind of fixed me up. So because when I was younger, my parents had divorced,
right.
And I me and my little mind, I'm thinking, oh, it's my fault. So I'm going up to school, I'm making decisions I'm not good decisions, acting up in class, being a class clown, all that stuff. So
start acting out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But my grandfather, he would send me letters. He lived in California, and he would send me letters, and that's how I really got into writing. Because
awesome.
we would write back and forth to each other instead of just calling. Yeah. And then I've always had my uncles and my mentors on my side just to inspire me. That's
dope that your grandfather started writing you, because I know phones was out there and he was still writing. So, but he didn't even know doing that he was gonna motivate you to become an author. So that's dope how that even happened anyway.
Yeah, after he unfortunately passed away, but after that, I've always just been writing after that.
Right.
I'll fill up entire notebooks of just silly stories. So my first book, Mr. RG is Missing, it was really just based off of my experience with my parents' divorce, how I acted out, how I reacted to that. And so, but also what I learned from that situation, how I was able to fix myself and make better decisions. So hopefully I was hoping that when other kids read that book, that they would react the same way. They would somehow make better decisions. Not even, go that deep into it.
That's awesome.
Did you see yourself being like a motivational speaker and all that type of stuff when you
No, I've never been like him. I've always been an introvert. So when I started speaking a year after I started my business, and I was not ready for it. Actually, I had to I know him very well, Mr. Patton. He's the one who helped me learn how to speak and stuff like that. I would actually cry because I was so scared to speak, but I would practice over and over again. And really, when I write how I feel. I write from the heart. So really, whatever I'm thinking is what I'm going to say to you, and hopefully it inspires you. It's just all from experience.
The good thing is that when you write, you have a passion to write, and whether it's, like you said, a story that you're telling, something straight from the heart, mind, it's a gateway to speaking, because you're able to put your words, in order how you want it to be delivered to the reader, right? So when you actually start speaking, it becomes natural, and then now you're speaking as in storytelling, and you're drawing the audience in. So I'm sure you are great now because you are very articulate and just everything. So I think it's just going to get better And I'm not saying articulate as in I underestimated you, but you are a youngin'.
Right.
And and sometimes people are so nervous and it gets the best of them. And I just wanted to applaud you on your presence now.
Thank you.
So yeah, I'm appreciative of young people speaking.
And didn't you just graduate top of your class?
Like,
I know you finna go to one of the top.
I know,
high schools.
I know that. But like, I'm still a little bit mad that I didn't graduate at the top of my class.
Okay.
Graduated cum laude.
Yeah, but like,
cum laude.
I went to valedictorian. That's not good. That's not good. So,
it is good. You just wanted to do better. It is good though.
Yeah, exactly.
It's great.
It's great, but it's just not what I want.
I ain't gonna tell you what I graduated, so you great.
Just shoot for your next level, you know what you gotta do. You're gonna have to step it up a notch, baby.
Yeah.
But
That's great though that you go ahead.
You did great.
But I think that's great that you even had that motivation for yourself though. You're going into high school. So that lets me know where you're gonna put yourself in high school, and 4 years from now, you will get where you want to be. So that's dope. So yeah.
Bailey, I do want to ask you a question because I don't have any children. I am connected to those who have children and other children in passing. But I don't get a lot of time to discuss certain things with kids who are able to verbalize.
Right.
And so with the pandemic, right? Everybody went through these adjustments, changes, everything. How was your schooling during that time? What was your mindset? What motivated you to keep going?
I can say I feel like every kid was affected the same way, because I've even talked to my friends about it. We literally all said the same thing, being cooped up at the house doing virtual, like. At first it's like, oh yeah, we ain't gotta go to school, but it was like you can't talk to your friends like that no more. Turn your camera on. It's it was different for sure. It's completely different. I was able to get my work done. I can say I had no problem with that because that's easy to me. I've always had all A's. Just do the work.
Yeah.
Right.
But it was just a completely different experience not being able to interact with my friends, my teachers, and stuff like that. Kind of got lonely at sometimes because Mom at work, I'm at the house doing this, ain't nothing to do. So
did you learn how to cook though?
I can make ramen noodles.
Exactly.
I can make ramen noodles.
I know that situation taught a lot of kids how to cook for themselves too during that time.
Please don't cook without supervision. Come back to the house. My
mom made sure that don't cook without. Don't burn out the house.
Even with that, you being cooped up in the house, you being disconnected from your friends. Now that, we're still going through a pandemic, but it's not as bad. Did you guys filter back into the school? How is that now? Is that even awkward or back to normal?
So actually during that same school year when we first did virtual, it was a time where they went back into the school.
Okay.
Like you had an option to, or if you weren't doing good enough, you're like, yeah, go back to school. You got to make sure you're doing
What
the work.
did you choose?
I stayed at home simply because I wanted to stay safe, but we were able to go back to school this year. I liked it. I can say this was my best year.
Is it because of like the precautions that they put in place, or is it more like less people, or like why do you think that was your best year?
What? Oh, no, my bad. I'm talking about this year that I did this year.
Okay.
But yeah, this year was my best year. The year when I did virtual, not so much.
It's hard to keep attention, like your attention span with virtual. Even as an adult, like we're struggling on the computers and not working it, but with your camera on and trying to stay focused, like that's understandable.
Okay, so I can say the school did a good job, making sure that we kept our cameras on so that we can know that we were there. So I didn't really have trouble
with the attention,
but I know some kids did because they would call their names and they would not answer, and
you forgot you were in class.
Yeah, they would be falling asleep in class and stuff like that. I can say some kids, I know they have been through that, but not me. My household a little bit different.
Right. You have siblings?
My mother don't play, so no, I'm an only child.
Oh, you the only child. So how do you motivate yourself like every day as far as going forward with that type of stuff? Where the motivation come from?
Like
Being so young and getting the grades and getting the work done and whatever the case had to be during the pandemic, you had to motivate yourself because your mother put all the expectations on you leaving the house every day that you was gonna get it done. Because I was around a kid that he playing a game like this. But he got his computer on while he working because he was involved in the game and trying to do his classwork at the same time. But what was your motivation just to stay focused?
Well, I can say my mother raised me right because I'm already used to doing work. So the work is not even that hard to me, but then also I got to meet the expectations.
Right.
My mentors and uncles have been time into me to make sure that I'm raised right. I have to meet those expectations because it's like, better.
Right.
And then also I got to be a role model too. I'm an author. I'm a motivational speaker. I can't be going around here saying this and that, but then I'm not doing good.
You gotta walk it.
Yeah,
you gotta walk it too.
It's just like
that's dope. Well, Sheldon, what's up, man? I know you got your Feed the Homeless drive coming up this Saturday, man. Tell us a little bit about that because I know it's your birthday weekend, and like people like me, I like to just turn up from Monday through Sunday, but with you,
don't we know it?
You give back to the community during your birthday weekends. You got a lot of stuff you do with the kids. You got a lot of stuff you do with the homeless. Like, just tell us a little bit about what you got going on this weekend with that.
Yeah. So Saturday, June 4th, myself, the organization, Baylo, you know what I'm saying, be in the building, and what we're doing is a feed the need for the homeless for my birthday. So everybody always like, Sheldon, what you want to do for your birthday? And I just always have art for people.
Right.
And I feel like I want to celebrate with them, for my birthday. So giving back to others. So that was on my agenda for this year. And of course, after that, I'll be with the kids at the main event. So he hosting it, and shout out to the G Boys, they hosting it as well. So
I can say that I really admire him. That one thing about Mr. Sheldon is that I literally called him because he told me that he wanted me to host. I was like, oh yeah, of course. I was like, so what you gonna do for your birthday? Oh, nothing much. But I'm having this event. I was like, it's your birthday. But he's always putting others first. He's always making sure that he goes to the elderly homes to feed the homeless and stuff like that. He likes to meet his purpose, which is to help the need or to help people in need.
Right.
So I admire that about him. That's really cool.
That is awesome.
Oh, that's cute. Come on, man.
Y'all gotta get y'all handshakes together.
And Sheldon, I know every year, I don't know if it's every year, but I have seen that you do banquets where you give away awards.
Yeah, that was dope. That was dope.
And what kind of awards are you giving out at these banquets and stuff like that?
So that one was a partnership with me, and shout out to Jen. We just wanted to put something together that year to see, reward all these guys. Man, it was a lot of kids out there just doing great things.
Right.
And we wanted to show our appreciation with my kids and just all the kids around the city.
Right.
That was just one thing we did. And then we got hit with the pandemic and it kind of
slowed down.
Messed up a lot. So we want to revisit that. We are going to go back. The mayor showed up.
Yeah, I seen that. I seen the mayor.
Awesome.
A lot of the council people. I mean, it was dope. For the first year it was live. So we're going to talk about that. I'm glad you brought that up because we trying to maybe do that.
Yeah, man. We had just Andy here, just asked Andy here last week, and I was telling that I knew somebody that knew the mayor. She was saying like she big and doing stuff for people, and she was like, all she want to do is open up a park. And I'm like, well, man, I know somebody that know the mayor. Maybe y'all can get together. We can figure out how to get this park done. But I actually think that's a dope idea, even for you, because you do so much in the community, man. That'll be something looking forward to as far as a park or just anything like that with your name on it. So hopefully you can get that when it's all said and done.
Trust me, that's always God. The Lord knows, if nobody else. I pray to Him all the time about different things of that nature, just a whole bunch of stuff. So yeah.
So, but with us though, they give it to us when we gone. You need to get your roses while you're here, because you coming up on your 10-year anniversary next year of doing what you've been doing, and that's a long time. A lot of people get discouraged, because when you giving to people or giving back, you spending a lot of your own money. you begging for donations, you asking people to help out and do all that. But a lot of people, they be, I got you, man. And they don't show up. But with you continue to stay motivated regardless of this. I pulled up on you one time. You had like a back seat full of like diapers and pillows and just whatever, just a lot of clothes in your car, and you was ready to go take it and give it to like the old folks home or something like that. So, like I said, I've been knowing, man, you've been doing it for a long time, man. I appreciate you. Because you motivate me. What I call you every time. I always tell you my mentor. Yeah. Shit, we about the same age. I always say you motivate me to get it going. So
hey, age is nothing but a number.
Hold on, I ain't old.
Inspire. It's great to inspire, and what you guys are doing is really great. And we see you. What I did want to ask you guys, if you could name like one instance that was very like influential in the path that you guys are going. So someone or something that kind of gave you that extra push.
I'll be waiting on stuff like that. So
good question, huh?
It's awesome. My grandma.
I
mean,
I knew you was gonna say that.
I knew he was gonna say that too, though.
I mean, hey, she part of the book, man. She's 98, and she just blessed, and she keeps me moving. She keeps me motivated. At 98, she still tell me, what to do, and she speaks the word into me. So the things that she say, I listen. I don't say nothing.
Right.
I just smile and be like, Grandma, you still got your mind. She said, it don't even matter if I can't walk no more. I still can use my mind.
Yeah.
I still can think. I still can tell you what to do. And and she's just so, inspirational. She's my spiritual leader. And the list keeps going. So my grandma, for sure.
That is awesome.
Me? I don't know. I want to say this. I'm gonna say all the people in my life.
Right.
Okay.
You don't want to get in trouble.
Hey,
you got a lot of people watching.
Just give it to everybody.
I gotta make sure to say that right.
But IGP, I know
all the people in my life. All my uncles, aunties, teachers too. Man, but for real, I want to thank all of them because they've made me the person I am today. Like they've always just been on me to keep on pushing, to motivate me to make sure I do what I do, while still having fun and being passionate about like what I want to do. Like they're always there to support me, like whatever I do. Like I just got into art, maybe about a year ago. But I was gonna do art, but now I actually want to put like my business into art. Like
what kind of art is it?
I don't even know how to.
Because art got a lot of. There's a lot of art out there. Are you drawing? Are you taking pictures? Are you painting?
I'm drawing. I want to get into painting, but I'm mostly drawing on paper. Okay. I'm getting into digital. Like I'm trying to explore different things, like doing NFTs and stuff like that. Like all of that. I want to be able to, actually invest my time into that. And they're always there to support me.
Right.
Yeah.
I got to do this, especially my mother. Nah, but for real, my mother, that's obviously my day one.
Right.
Like, she's the one who told my grandpa about the situation. She's like always trying to find a way to just make sure I succeed in life.
Right.
She will go to jail for me.
Right.
To make sure I succeed and that I grow old.
So she ain't just one of the parents that say, I'm going to jail. She really gonna go.
Really gonna
But she will act a fool to make sure I do
right.
But then she will also get on me to make sure I do what I need to do. So I want to thank you, Mother.
Well, I want to talk a little bit about y'all podcast though, man, because we really haven't got on that. What is your podcast about though?
So we came together. It's more so of bridging the gap. You see Bailey, you see a young teenager, and you see me,
older.
Say it, Bailey. Bailey, gonna say it.
I'm a little man.
You see me? My years up in years.
I know.
Yeah,
a young adult. Let's say that.
Young adult. There you go.
Okay. A wise old man.
A wise
old man. Say it, baby.
So yeah, it's. I think life in some instances you will have a young guy, you have an older guy. You see a lot of disrespect. In some situations you might see that a lot of times I get help from Bailey. Like we can come together and not just me being the older guy to give information. I learn from him. So we try to show the world that, hey, you can learn from each other. We can work together as a team. Right. We don't have to be like, just because he's 14, you don't know what you're talking about.
It's two different generations. We're all raised different.
Right.
We have different technology and stuff like that.
He was born in the 60s.
Oh,
yeah.
He probably didn't even have technology when he
ain't know about technology. You still teaching them how to work the cameras and stuff.
I think we even had a show with Two on there. When we was talking about Two could name you every little games, and I'm up here talking about what the Sega Atari.
Right.
Two, what we was talking about.
Yeah, you should really show your age with the Sega.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, we did.
I
did.
It's like two different generations, different perspectives on things, different opinions on things. I can say for sure, my generation that I grew up in, we're more like we express ourselves a little bit more about how we feel and
because y'all got a platform.
Yeah, and our opinion on things.
Y'all could do is this every day and express how y'all really feel. Mm-hmm. But we had an episode, I think it was our first episode, where we was talking about like the youth and God.
What's missing in our communities?
I know part of it though. I want to ask because we were saying if kids are they still believe in God and stuff like that in y'all generation because
I want to say something. As far as that, I feel like it just depends on how. I can't even say it's how you like where you come from or how you're raised because some kids they don't care they don't even care. You can be raised in the most religious family ever. They won't believe in God. And I can't say nothing about. I'll try to be like, hey, I try to spread the word, but not everybody not gonna agree with me
because in our era we was kind of forced to go to church. We had to read the Bible every now and then, singing the youth choir, whatever. You had to be a part of something that was dealing with it. Right. But y'all generation, I really don't hear, see, and like I said, I work with youth, but a lot of youth I work with, they detained. So a lot of them, they don't even talk about God. They don't know nothing about it.
Live by that life.
Yeah. So I know you want to speak on that too.
I think the biggest thing in what we talked about was, I think that's why there's such an influx of violence, suicides, because when you start to ground them in what is hope, right? Like what is faith, I think you develop that everything can get better, right? So like if you look to turn in word and, you always know that, okay, things can get better. And so the more that our generation and the ones coming after us are veering away from not necessarily just the church in whatever you interpret that to mean, but just the belief system, the faith that goes along with it, I think it's going to continue to have an influx in those things. I'm not saying that that's the catch-all, but I think that's a major root because hope was such a pivotal thing in our communities, right? Even during, if you want to take it all the way back to, the discrimination and the slavery and, all of that, hope played such a big part in resilience.
And I can say nowadays, my generation, although some of them, they're going on the right path, like you said, y'all had hope and stuff like some kids just don't care and they just
they don't listen.
And we're seeing that.
They just live in life how they live it. I don't even know how to describe it. They don't care. Whatever happens. I'm just gonna roll with it. But they don't care. Some kids don't care about their future.
Another thing too though, I think it's a lot being taken out of y'all generation. Like as far as the spiritual God, you don't really see that too much. Schools and took it out. They don't talk about it too much on TV. We used to be up at night. If you up too late, Jesus is gonna come on there and start talking
on
to
the
you.
TV.
Yeah, and then so we had to listen to the older people in the neighborhood because we didn't have phones to influence us. Yeah. So whatever we was going through something or we was getting in trouble, it would be an older person reach out and they'll bring us in and reel us back in. But y'all got so much influence from the phone and what y'all see and all that type of stuff. If I tell you something, well, they're not you. But if I tell you something, you say, man, let me go to Google. You know, you might not believe me. You going straight to see what Google say. And you be like, nah, Google says such and such. I'll be like, but listen to me. I experienced it. I went through it.
And I'm coming from where you from.
Right. So that's what I think is the big gap in the generation is too, though. Right. It's this technology that's going on.
I think bad things about our generation come off as ignorant, or we don't listen. We don't want to listen to the older people because, you know, we think, oh yeah, we this. You know, you can't tell me what to do. I know this. You know.
Right.
You don't.
I think
even
that
some older people don't.
A little bit of that happened in every generation, though. Yeah. I mean, I think that's majority of the age range. Like, you're a teenager, so you want to be a little rebellious. But I think regardless of how much you strayed with us, we still had that foundation to come back to, whether it was from religion background or from the teachings of your parents or from your grandparents' teachings, you know.
It was going to be somewhere.
It's going to be from somewhere. The thing now is that who are these kids listening to be able to come back to that advice, you know what I mean? And so we were talking about how we all kind of have a shared obligation to reach out and correct. And I don't want people to go out there and just overstep and tell other kids what to do. But in the community, that's how, you know, the older people, you know, raised us. It took a village. And so we all have a responsibility to help, to reach back, to correct someone when they're wrong in a good way, you know, not, you know, inviting violence and everything. And I think that's along the path of what you're doing. So, I mean.
And Bailey, I'm going to want to give your mother a shout out because I've been hearing you say your mother, and being a single mother, raising a young black man is really hard for a lot of women to do in today's time. So for her to be so consistent with you to make sure that you are on the path that you on, it's pretty dope. So I want to give a shout out to you, moms. You know, that's
I know she listening at the door. But also, I heard you mention all your uncles and everybody else too. And not to take anything away from mama, because I know she was day one all day, right? But when it comes down to men stepping in, right?
You need that too.
We need that. So shout out to them too.
Man, it's funny how I met some of my it's so funny how I met some of my mentors. It's crazy. I'm gonna give you one. I'm not gonna say who he is, but I met him when I was about, I think, 9 years old, and 8 years old,
right?
Okay. And that's when I was still acting out, right? And so my mother was through with it. she took me to the it's like this juvenile place. Right. She was like, "You gonna be in there if you keep on acting the way you are." And
mama went scared straight.
Right.
And that's I guess she knew the man, and he talked to me instead of making it all. So he actually talked to me. He was like, "Hey man, you gotta make better decisions because you can, instead of being this and that, you can be down here with them."
So that was a pivot point in your life to where you was like, "Let me get right."
I've always just stayed in contact with him, and then our relationship just grew more and more. And he's still here to this day. So.
Why you don't want to give him his name, man? Give him a shout out.
I'm saying Uncle Boone, shout out to Uncle
Uncle Boone, the reason, you know, he helped you with that pivot point in your life.
Boone, man.
Played that part. So tell people where they can find you, where they can purchase your book and whatever.
All right, so start off with my books. You can purchase my books on Amazon and on my website at www.baileyseymour.com.
Bailey Seymour?
Yeah, Bailey Seymour, the letter C. Moore, MOORE.com. And my Instagram is BeMoreU Publishing. And but you can find the podcast, our podcast, our Instagram is Whatever It Takes Podcast. Our YouTube is Whatever It Takes Podcast. And I believe that's all we have right now.
And that's whatever, like without the ER, whatever.
Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes podcast.
Yeah. Here you can find my book, Whatever It Takes, on Amazon and on my website at www.SheldonThurgood.com. And you can find me on Instagram on Sheldon Thurgood, on Facebook at Sheldon Thurgood.
Oh yeah, I forgot. That's the old people. I forgot. My bad. That's the old people have too. I guess I'm on Facebook too.
So. Reminding Bailey, yeah, you can be more published on Facebook.
Yep.
Be more published on Facebook. So Third Good Deeds on Instagram and Third Good Deeds on Facebook.
Well, thank you for being here with us today. We really appreciate you guys' time. Keep doing what you're doing in the community. Like I said, we see you. We appreciate you. And we know that you guys are going to continue to do great things.
Thank you.
I ain't got too much to say. This is my brother. I appreciate him for coming out. I appreciate Bailey. I got to learn a lot about him. He motivation to, the youth that's coming up. So be on the lookout for him. He got a lot going. Sheldon, continue to do what you're doing in the neighborhood. I'm always be there, whatever you need. Holla at me. We out of here.
Peace.